looked at my scars and called me fragile. They saw me fall again and again and decided my story was already over. Every loss, every bruise, every night I clenched my teeth just to remember why I started. That pain wasn't visible to them. Because weakness isn't crying when you're alone. Weakness isn't being afraid and still moving forward. Weakness isn't getting knocked down and standing up with shaking legs. Weakness is quitting. And I never quit. I kept smiling when my heart was breaking. I kept fighting when my body was screaming. I kept believing when the world laughed at my dream. They don't know how heavy this journey feels. They don't know how many times I wanted to stop. They don't know how close I was to giving up, but still chose to move one step forward. So tell me, after everything you've survived, after all the pain you carried in silence, after all the times you proved yourself to no one but you, do you still think you're weak? Or is it finally time to admit you're stronger than you ever imagined? Comment your answer. They said my dream was too big. They said I wasn't built for this world. Every laugh, every doubt, every time they looked down on me, I felt it burn inside my chest. I didn't forget a single word. I didn't ignore the disrespect. I didn't brush off the pain. I took it personal. Because when the world tries to break you, that pain can either destroy you or forge you into something unstoppable. I trained when no one was watching. I pushed when my strength was gone. I smiled on the outside while fighting wars inside my head. They thought I was angry for no reason. They thought I was crazy for believing. They didn't understand that every scar was fuel. So tell me, when they doubt you, when they laugh at your dream, when life hits you harder than ever before, do you let it crush you? Or do you take it personal and turn it into power? They look at me and see a smile, but they never see the nights I couldn't sleep. They see me laughing, standing tall, moving forward. They don't see the weight I carry in silence. I've been knocked down more times than I can count. I've lost people. I've lost battles. I've lost myself trying to protect everyone else. And still, I stood back up. They call me weak because I feel pain. They call me weak because I care. They call me weak because I refuse to give up on my dream. But listen closely. Weak people quit when it hurts. Weak people run when fear shows up. I stayed. I fought. I bled. Every scar on my body is proof I survived. Every failure is proof I tried again. Every tear I swallowed turned into strength. I'm not weak because I fall. I'm strong because I rise, again and again. So tell me, when life breaks you down, when the world tests your limits, when everything screams, give up, will you prove them right? Or will you stand up and say, I'm not weak? Listen, this isn't a story about winning every fight. This is a story about refusing to stop, even when your body begs you to quit. There were moments I stood alone, surrounded by enemies, surrounded by doubt, surrounded by voices saying, you can't do this. I felt my hands shaking. My breath was heavy. My heart was screaming in fear. But do you know what hurt more than the pain? The thought of stopping. Because stopping means everything I suffered for was useless. Stopping means the people who believed in me were wrong. Stopping means I accept the label they put on me. And I refuse to accept that. I didn't choose this path because it was easy. I chose it because it was mine. I chose it knowing I would bleed. I chose it knowing I would lose again and again. There were days I smiled while breaking inside. Days I laughed just to hide how tired I was. Days I wanted to disappear, but still showed up. That's the part they never talk about. The silent battles, the unseen strength, the moments where quitting feels logical, but moving forward feels impossible. And yet, I moved. One step, one punch, one breath. Even when my legs gave up, my will didn't. They say strength is power. No. Strength is standing when you have nothing left. Strength is choosing the dream even when it hurts. Strength is carrying pain and still protecting others. I've been called reckless. I've been called foolish. I've been told to know my limits. But limits are made for people who don't believe in tomorrow. I don't move forward because I'm fearless. I move forward because fear won't control me. I don't fight because I'm strong. I fight because giving up would destroy me more than any enemy ever could. Every scar I earn becomes my armor. Every defeat sharpens my will. Every fall reminds me why I must stand again. So if you're tired, if you feel alone, if you think you're not enough, remember this. The fact that you're still here means your story isn't over. You don't need permission to continue. You don't need approval to fight for your dream. You just need the courage to take one more step. So tell me, when life pushes you to your knees, when everything feels heavy, when quitting feels comfortable, will you stop where you are? Or will you keep moving forward no matter what? Look at me carefully, because what you see now was built in pain. Not overnight, not by luck, but by surviving what should have destroyed me. There was a time I wasn't strong. There was a time I lost, badly. A time when my confidence shattered louder than my bones. People think defeat is the end, but defeat is a mirror. It shows you exactly who you are, and who you must become. I remember the silence after losing. No cheers, no hope, just questions echoing in my head. Was I never enough? Did I aim too high? Should I quit before it hurts more? That moment, that exact moment, is where most people disappear. But listen closely. I stayed. I stayed with the pain. I stayed with the shame. I stayed with the responsibility of my dream. Because running away doesn't erase weakness. It confirms it. Every night, my body screamed. Every morning, doubt was waiting for me. But I learned something dangerous. Pain is a teacher. And I was paying attention. I trained when no one was watching. I failed where no one could see. I rebuilt myself piece by piece in the dark. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove myself right. They laughed when I stood back up. They said I'd fall again. They were right. I fell again. And again. And again. But every fall taught me balance. Every scar taught me timing. Every loss taught me control. I didn't break. I evolved. Strength isn't about never losing. It's about learning faster than you fall. There were moments my hands shook before fighting. Moments fear whispered. Don't move. Don't try. Stay safe. But safety never built legends. Comfort never created kings. I chose risk. I chose growth. I chose the long road with blood on it. Because I don't want an easy life. I want a meaningful one. Every time life hit harder, I hit back smarter. Not louder, not angrier, stronger in silence. You see muscles, fire, confidence. But you don't see the nights I wanted to quit. The mornings I stood up anyway. The discipline that replaced motivation. That's the truth nobody shows you. You don't become powerful by wanting it. You become powerful by enduring what others escape. And now, when I stand here, it's not arrogance. It's proof. Proof that pain didn't win. Proof that doubt didn't decide my future. Proof that falling doesn't mean finished. So if you're losing right now, if you feel embarrassed, if you think you're behind, good. That means you're still in the fight. The real question is, will you let this pain break you? Or will you let it evolve you into something unstoppable? This is the moment everything becomes clear. Not because the path is easy, but because quitting is no longer an option. I've walked through doubt. I've carried pain without showing it. I've lost more than I ever talk about. And still, I'm here. I don't stand here because I'm special. I stand here because I refuse to stay down. Every step forward felt heavy. Every breath came with pressure. But I learned something important. If you wait for the pain to disappear, you'll wait forever. So I moved with it. I fought with it. I grew with it. They thought my smile meant I wasn't serious. They thought my kindness meant weakness. They thought my silence meant surrender. They were wrong, because real strength doesn't announce itself. It shows up, again and again. I stopped chasing approval. I stopped explaining my dream. I stopped asking if I was enough. I decided that my story doesn't end in fear. It ends in action. So if you're tired right now, if you feel broken, if the road ahead scares you, good. That means you're standing where growth begins. So answer this honestly. Now that you've come this far, will you walk away? Or will you stand your ground and keep moving forward no matter what?